Hey there, how are you doing? We welcome you all to yet another interesting video. And as you can see, I have two Nokia 6 2018 smartphones here. So, what we will do in this video is that we will compare the performance between Nokia 6.1 3GB RAM and Nokia 6.1 4GB RAM versions. So, this is Nokia 6.1 3GB RAM, black copper version or copper model, and this is the new 4GB RAM version which comes in blue gold. So these two look slightly different because of the color of the the color of the back, and then the accentuation, so which is like copper in the case of 3GB RAM version and gold that is in the case of this 4GB RAM version. So both look beautiful, both are built like tank, but there is a difference here. There are two differences rather. So for one, the blue gold version comes with 4GB RAM, so 1GB extra RAM. That should make a difference when we are doing heavy multitasking. And another difference is that when we go to the storage, it comes with 64GB storage, which is really good. And if you have followed our coverage of Nokia 6.1, you would know that Nokia 6.1 does not support installation of apps to the SD card. So that's where this extra 32GB storage comes into the picture. Okay, so now time to give it a spin and compare the performance between the 3GB RAM version and 4GB RAM version. So let's start with the browser. Okay, so when we compare the browser, so basically, I mean, ideally there should not be much difference between the speeds, etc. So for your information, again, this is the 3GB RAM version, and this is the 4GB RAM version. So we are not confused at any point in time. So basically, while doing stuff like browsing, there should not be much difference between the two devices because like they should be similar. So the RAMs are like not make much difference there. But when you actually increase the number of tabs or you do heavy multitasking with anything else, obviously you would feel lots of difference. So we can open things here, and you would not feel much difference. That's what I think. But let us test it basically. Okay. So here, I think don't have this. Okay. So quite a similar kind of performance so far. Let's send them to the background. Now when we go to the gaming part, the fun starts. So GTA is one of the heaviest Android games ever, and many of you liked us to go for a kind of like review while running GTA. So here, just for again for clarifying that you know it. So this is the 4GB RAM version again here, and this is a 3GB RAM version. So let's quickly go to the game. Okay, now time to time to launch more games, because as we say, when we go for the multitasking, then only you will feel what is the difference or what is the advantage or benefit of 1GB extra RAM. So we can try opening more stuff. So let's launch the cameras. Let's send them to the background. Let's open that Play Store. And perhaps now you would start feeling a bit of difference. Okay, still, I mean, they are like quite similar in terms of. Okay, now let's launch one more game. So let's send them to the background. Okay, so now when we try to resume them from background, let's see how they behave. So as you can now notice here very clearly that uh, on the 4 GB RAM version, GTA SA resumed very well from the background, but here in case of 3 GB RAM version, it did not resume, it rather reloaded. So that's the kind of difference that you will actually feel when you will use the 4 GB RAM version versus the 3 GB RAM version. Okay, let's send them to the background again. Now, again, let's try to resume other stuff. So if we try to resume the Subway Surfer, let's see how it works. Okay, so Subway Surfer resumed very well on both. But forward the browser, let's try to go to the browser now. And again, you can notice that on the 6 GB RAM version, the resume was so smooth, it resumed so well. But on the 3 GB RAM version, it reloaded actually, did not resume. So that clearly tells you that how this 1 GB RAM, extra RAM, I mean, brings the benefit. In terms of multitasking, when you are trying to multitask with many apps and games open in the background. Okay, let's try to resume this third game that we had launched. And again, here you can quickly understand that on the 4 GB RAM version, again this resumed, and on the 3 GB RAM version, it reloaded. So again, when it comes to the heavy multitasking with many games open and you try to resume the heavy games, there we need this 4 GB RAM version, which really works smoothly, just like we have seen in the case of 7 Plus or Nokia Sirocco or devices like that. So that's where that 4 GB RAM, I mean 1 GB extra RAM comes into picture and helps you in getting much better performance. Okay. So as you can notice, still after sending it to the background, we can hear sound coming from this phone, 3 GB RAM one. So that tells you that when like 3 GB RAM is really not sufficient when it comes to multitasking with really heavy games like GTA San Andreas and Mortal Kombat. So obviously it's really not sufficient enough memory. So obviously if you really want to enjoy the powerful multitasking, then you should go for the 4 GB RAM version of the Nokia 6.1, which is like very good in terms of performance, as we could see that even with like two very heavy games, GTA San Andreas and then Mortal Kombat and then Subway Surfer open in the background and along with browser that has many tabs, it just handles everything very well. There are like no reloads, only resume, you will resume everything. So that's really great actually. That's what you require or you want from your phone, which you can actually handle in very heavy multitasking or heavy circumstances of usage. So that's where like you try to put your money if your budget allows you. So with that, we come to end of this video. And if you really want to know our opinion about Nokia 6.1, 3GB RAM, 4GB RAM, so we told you very clearly that if it's fine with you that you don't try to do very heavy multitasking, like we did here for like with two very heavy games and one like moderate heavy game and other apps and browsers. So then even 3GB RAM will work very well. So you play not too heavy game, like you play one heavy game and other stuff. But if you really are interested in that kind of multitasking, that only you can get on a Nokia 7 Plus, or you can get on a Nokia 8 Sirocco with as many games, heavy games as you want to be open in the background. Then you should go for this, because this will be the cheapest uh, that you will get a Nokia Android smartphone to offer this kind of experience. So then then you should go for 4GB RAM version. So hope you have liked this video. Hope you have liked what we wanted to convey here. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.